Calgary, also known as Cowtown for lots of people, is the sunniest city in Canada. It's found in West Canada in southern Alberta. Here are 5 things that you should definitely do when you're in Calgary. Number 1, the Calgary Stampede. The greatest outdoor show on earth. On the first Friday of July, every single year, is the Calgary Stampede. Its rodeo started in 1912 and is one of the largest rodeos in the world. The Calgary Stampede is famous for its rodeo, it's famous for its fairground, and it's also famous for some really weird but tasty food that you can find among the grounds. Travel tip: go to Value Village before you go to the Stampede and make sure that you get your cowboy, cowgirl clothes. It's super cheap, and then you can really get stuck into the Stampede. Number 2, get out of Calgary. Calgary's a great place, but just on the outskirts are places like Banff, Canmore, Jasper and Kananaskis. These places are found in the Rocky Mountains and have some of the best nature that the planet has to offer.
It's my friend Nick. Ooh, what are we doing today, Nick? We're going for a bear hunt.
Now we need some Tim Hortons.
So we've been convinced to do Halling Peak. We are mightily underprepared for this mountain. We're wearing trainers. Nick's got no grip, and as you can see, there's snow on the floor. We'll just do what we can. If we get all this thing, it's going to be a miracle.
We're finding that the trainers are working really badly right now. You working? In the winter you can go skiing or snowboarding, take in the beautiful mountains, and you can see the world famous Lake Louise and Moraine Lake. Travel tip: when you go into these areas, there are shuttle buses between Calgary, Banff, Canmore and places around there. They're super cheap, and if you've not got a car, it just makes it easy and accessible. Number 3 is hockey. Make sure that when you're in Calgary, you go to the aptly named Saddle Dome, named because Calgary is Cowtown and it is shaped like a saddle, and make sure that you go and see the Calgary Flames, the best hockey team in the world. Travel tip: when going to a hockey game, don't be put off by booking nosebleed tickets. They're super cheap and you still get to see every single detail of the game and have a great time. So when you're booking these, go on Kijiji or go to a co-op store around Calgary and you can get your super cheap tickets and enjoy the game. Number 4, when you're in the city, there is great food and drink. Calgary has a great bar and restaurant scene. If you want some interesting places, go to Kensington and enjoy the hipster end of Calgary. Go to National Day and see one of the best patios in Calgary, surrounded by skyscrapers. Make sure you go to Stephen Ave and 8th Ave to see some of the best bars that Calgary has to offer. Travel tip: make sure that you try Calgary's famous Caesar. Now a Caesar is like a Bloody Mary, but they use Clamato juice instead. Make sure that when you're in Calgary, you try the Caesar and try and find the Caesar with the most food stacked on top. Some of them are crazy and you get a meal with your drink. And number 5 is the BadLands. We're going to the BadLands. Make sure that when you're in Calgary, take the few-hour trip out to the BadLands, go and see Drumheller. This used to be a massive waterway in ancient times. This waterway has caused a mineral-rich and a fossil-rich landscape. When you go to Drumheller, make sure you go to the Royal Tyrrell Museum and see some of the best fossilised dinosaur remains on the planet. Travel tip: when you go into the BadLands, make sure that you get a podcast or an audiobook or a very good playlist, because the drive out there is super flat and super boring. Calgary is different to most of the cities and places I vlog about. Walking through the streets, not much history and exciting culture is going to jump out at you. You have to do a little bit of research and use these travel tips to see everything that Calgary has to offer. Within a few hours of Calgary, on the outskirts, some of the best nature and the best history that Canada has to offer. In summary, Number 1, make sure you go to the Calgary Stampede. Number 2, get out to Banff and Canmore and see the Rocky Mountains. Number 3, go and see a hockey game and cheer for the best hockey team in the world. Number 4, in the city, make sure that you enjoy the food, the drinks, and most of all, make sure that you get Caesar packed with food on top of it. And number 5, make sure that you go to the BadLands. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more travel tips, make sure you click that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.